I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite podcast on the Citadel.
It's words about books, Ben.
It's words about books, Nathaniel.
Apparently live from the bridge of the Normandy.
It's not easy to find a high-resolution image of this video game to use as my virtual background, but I did.
It was made in 2007. It is not high resolution at all.
No, it is not.
Not even a little bit.
I almost found one, but I think it just took me to a website with a bunch of viruses. So
Nice.
Yeah. Well, we'll bang, okay?
I'm Commander Shepard. This is my favorite podcast on the Citadel.
Hell yeah.
So we're back talking about Mass Effect, Ben.
I guess.
I read most of a nearly 800-page book on Mass Effect called Mess Effect by Shamus Young. I say most of the book because I have read the Andromeda stuff in the past, but I didn't reread it because I don't care about Andromeda. I don't think anyone cares about Andromeda. Everyone knows that one was bad. It was an attempt to revive the series by EA Games, and it was bad.
Did it need attempted revival? I thought it was doing fine. Then they just stopped making it.
They stopped making it, but there was a lot of backlash to the ending of the third game.
There's a lot of backlash to every video game ever.
Yeah.
You're never going to make these people happy.
They also ran out of ideas. They did release an updated ending to the game that I don't think was necessarily a whole lot better, but they were like, oh, shit. We fumbled that one.
Cyberpunk 2077's been fumbling it for like 2 years, and people, I think, have warmed up to it.
Hey, I was one of the people who liked it at launch, even though it was glitchy as all hell. I had a lot of fun with it.
My point is, I feel like every video game, no one hates video games as much as people who play video games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did it sell? Who the hell cares what they say?
I don't think Andromeda sold very well.
Well, no, Andromeda didn't, but Mass Effect 3 did. Why did they wait so long to do Andromeda?
Maybe they figured they had nowhere else to go with it.
They ended on a cliffhanger.
That was supposed to wrap up the series, Ben. And they didn't know how to continue the series because you picked 3 different options, some of which maybe destroyed the entire galaxy. Whoopsie.
You just make it not canon.
Yeah, but then that would invalidate my choice, Ben. This is a series about choice. How dare you?
Dark Souls hasn't had this
I don't know
problem.
why.
They just pick...
Mass Effect Andromeda supposedly sold 5 million copies. But that was below their original projection of 6 million copies, so...
Well, I didn't play it, so I guess I'm part of the problem.
Yeah, you didn't play it because it looked like shit.
I thought... You want to know something?
The characters looked hilariously bad. Have you seen those?
I thought it was a mobile game. honest to God, I didn't realize until we read the books. Until we read this book, I didn't realize that was a real game for real consoles and such. So, egg on my face. Okay.
But then EA, I think, killed BioWare, what was left of it.
So there's a literary critique by Shamus Young of the Mass Effect games that is 800 pages. We are, according to ChatGPT, a literary critique podcast.
Fuck yeah. ChatGPT, never wrong.
So you,
Oreo is a palindrome, same way spelled forward and backwards.
so ChatGPT said you bring a chaotic energy to the podcast, but you can be polarizing.
I shared that with everyone I knew. It's like, this is ridiculous.
But yeah, so we're doing an analysis of an analysis, or you just want to present Shamus Young's arguments and tell people to go check him out?
Both. I'll throw my own shit in there too.
Okay.
But I agree a lot with what he has to say. So,
Well,
yeah.
for 800 pages, you better.
Goddamn right. So I wrote an outline as well to get as much shit in as I can, Ben, to make this as content dense as possible.
Well, the only thing that's going to matter for future generations who use ChatGPT to summarize the podcast is whatever you put in the description. So,
Goddamn right. I'll put that in the description so they know.
yep.
They know, Ben. So, first of all, why the Mass Effect series, Ben?
I've been wondering that
don't
myself.
give a shit about the series. you said you had fun with it, and you can't remember literally anything about it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm over here. I would put the first game in my top 10 games of all time, maybe even top 5. Beaten it 4 times all the way through, Ben.
I don't even remember what it was like to play. I don't remember the combat system at all. I don't remember any of the characters. I just, it didn't have enough of an impression on me to say whether it was even good or bad. I honestly don't remember.
Well, I'm here to help you out, Ben. I'm here to help you out. I can tell you that the first game, so it was a cover-based shooter in the second game and the third game. And the first game, it was like you could use cover, but like it was really wonky and janky, and your allies wouldn't use cover, and they just run in and they get bodied. And I agree with a lot of analysis, and also with Shamus's analysis, that the gameplay gets better from the first game to the second game, and then the second game to the third game. But the story gets progressively worse. And I did beat the second game just once. And something was off with me. And then I was like, oh, I'll get the third game. But first I'm going to beat the first one all over again. And make my own... Because you can import your save from each game.
Yeah.
Fancy, I know. But... as I was rebeating the first game, the third game came out, and then I heard, I think you were the one who initially told me, and then I started looking around, and
well, it's
the ending kind of fell flat.
It's like, so you everybody goes to Earth to fight the Reapers, but then they blow up the mass relays, and so everybody's stranded in our solar system
Maybe.
that
We
can't
don't know.
possibly
But
support
probably
it.
yes.
So yeah, it seems like everybody's gonna die.
It sure does. Or maybe not. Who knows? It's very vague, but also there are no good options. There's no good ending here.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think like a fourth game would deal with the fallout from that.
Or literally anything, right? But the fourth game is set in a different galaxy, and it just like
I don't fully understand how that's even
never.
possible.
It's not. It's stupid. It's incredibly stupid. They don't have the technology to go outside of the mass relay network. How would they go from one galaxy to another?
Yeah, they don't address that in Andromeda?
I'm sure they have some way of hand waving it.
There was a more mass relay. A
I
mass
don't think they have
relay.
They wouldn't have mass relays in Andromeda. So how are you getting around? Whatever. I'm also going to talk real quick about Shamus Young. Because I actually have referenced him before. when we talked about The Fold and Story Collapse.
Yes.
Way back in season 1 when the audio quality was somehow worse. So he was I stumbled across him when The Escapist was still a thing. I don't know if that's a thing anymore. But he
Yahtzee.
was
I
a
think it's still
writer on
technically a
this.
thing, but then Yahtzee and everybody else either left or was
Left.
fired.
Yeah.
So
So it exists, but maybe.
it exists
Barely.
as a corporate entity.
Well, Shamus wrote for that, and that's how I stumbled upon him. And I went on and off to his website for many years, just kind of checking in. And whenever something caught my eye, I would just read a whole bunch of it and check back on a weekly basis. Like this Mass Effect blog. This book was originally a 50 blog, once a week series on his website that he then edited and formatted into a book. And you can visit his website. I'll just plug it. Why not? ShamusYoung.com. It's 20-sided because it was originally for a D&D campaign, and it just grew from there. He died 3 years ago, which is weird because I really felt like it was a lot longer, but I went back and checked. It was 2022 during the summer. And I don't know, it was weird. It hit me in the way that only the death of a total stranger who you've never met in person can. I was like, oh, I didn't even know he was sick. What the fuck? And then I go back and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember seeing a post like 2 years prior where he was in the hospital and his blood pressure was like 200 and he had kidney failure.
Oh shit.
So that fucking sucks. Then he had it sounds like he had a heart attack and they couldn't resuscitate him and passed away pretty young, 50 years old, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, that's why I'm going to plug his website. I think it's still maintained by his family as long as they're able to do it. And that's why, for once, I'll plug his book, tell you to go to Amazon if anything that I'm talking about today sounds interesting. It's $5.
It's not bad.
Also, yeah, no. I think it's pretty solid. $5 for like 800 some odd pages. Dense, Ben. It's dense with content. So dense.
Every show is just so dense. There's just so much.
I also picked up some of, I realized some of the ways he critiques works whenever I talk about things on this podcast, Ben.
Well, that's either a compliment or an insult, and we'll see.
Yeah, he's going. So my outline, I started going over. I'm going to lay the groundwork for this world because I guess some people are going to listen to this who don't know anything about Mass Effect, but they like hearing my voice. My voice, not yours. Fuck you, Ben. And
that's what all those reviews say. You
and
set
then
out to piss people off, and you do.
Goddamn right. I accomplish my goals. Damn it.
I'm the change I want to see in the world.
So yeah, then I'll start just walking through the games and his critique. But I did have to leave out a bunch because otherwise we will be here forever, and I think you would probably quit at some point.
I'm giving you about an hour and a half. Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck.
I'll walk away. You can end the recording.
I'll just keep talking in the microphone. All right. So, I'll start throwing out definitions for you, Ben. Asari, hot blue aliens. Talked about that last time.
Yep.
Solarians, the tapeworm motherfuckers. They live for like 20 to 30 years, and they're like fast, I guess. They think fast and talk fast, Ben. And they're really smart, but they have really short-sighted solutions. Wouldn't that be great to have, like the smart part if we're going to also have short-sighted solutions to everything? Sounds really lucky of them.
Yeah. I could also settle for my leaders only living 20 to 30 years.
I could live with that. So the Asari and the Solarians happened to discover the Citadel at roughly the same time, and being that the Asari benefit from fucking other species, they decided to make peace, and that's how they started the Council, Ben.
Okay. Gross, but okay.
Hey, sometimes you see a tapeworm gecko thing, and you're just like,
Is there a
wanna hang out.
Solarian romance option in any of the Mass Effects?
I don't know if there's one with Morden or not. There might be. There should be.
Because they're gross.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near them, but there
No.
should be, Ben.
No, they look like something you'd get from eating like improperly prepared sushi.
yeah, that's fair. So they're a little smarter than that, but yeah, that's fair. So I also talked about the Rachni Wars, where they opened up a mass relay and a bunch of bugs came through, and the Solarians had a great plan for this. They found the Krogan, who are dinosaurs, who had just bombed themselves back to the Stone Age with nuclear weapons, and they're on a planet just full of natural predators. So they have like this crazy fast breeding, and they're also really hardy and strong. And the Solarians saw these people and were like, let's uplift them. Let's give them spaceships and space guns and have them go fight bugs. And it worked out really well. They killed every single Rachni. Worked really well. Peace was achieved in our time. And then the Krogans started breeding out of control, and they wanted more land. And then they just started killing people and taking their land, which led to the Krogan rebellion. Ben, that was a whoopsie. So
If they'd won, it would have
how do
been
we
the
stop that?
Krogan War for Independence.
Yeah, well, the history is written by the winners. The Krogan didn't win this one because they developed a sterility plague called the genophage, where 9 in 10 births were stillbirths. And then they discovered the Turians around this time, and the Krogan and the Turians started fighting, and then they utilized the genophage developed by the Solarians. Rebellion over. Victory, peace in our time again, Ben.
Wait, who'd they use the genophage on?
The Krogan.
Again?
What do you mean again?
When did they, like, so they only used it when the Krogans started fighting the Turians?
Yeah, for whatever reason, the Solarians didn't want to use it themselves.
The genocide? They didn't want
Yeah,
to be
the
responsible for
genocide
that.
machine.
They'd already
Yeah.
genocided the Rachni. They didn't want to genocide another species.
Hey, the Krogan genocided the Rachni. We just gave them all the weapons to do it. And then the Turians unleashed the sterility plague. We just kind of made it for them. The important thing is now the Turians get a seat on the council. So good job, everyone. We did it. There's a bunch of other species. I just kind of yada yada. They're not super important. Like, who cares about the Hanar? They're jellyfish people. Another important storyline. Quarians built AI servants and modified them over generations, and then they became true AI. And then they started questioning what their purpose in life was. And so they were like, time to die. And they tried to kill all the Geth, their AI synthetic made machine creatures. And they got the shit kicked out of them, Ben. They got fucking kicked. Their ass was kicked so hard, they were kicked right out of their home star system. And they became a bunch of nomads that no one likes to deal with.
Okay.
And then humans come next after all this shit. Talked about this last time. First contact war with the Turians. Started taking colonies earmarked for the Batarians and the Four-Eyed People. And the council, they protested the council, but humans are awesome, I guess. They're like, sucks, skill issue. So the Batarians decide that the best way to deal with this is to resign from council space, pull back, and then start funding a bunch of pirates to raid us. So we had an unofficial war. We kicked their ass, Ben, because we're awesome.
Okay.
So this is all to say that the setting of the first Mass Effect has humans as a small part of a bigger galactic civilization. We've got a lot of potential. We're rocketing up the ranks faster than any other species ever has before, but we're not number one, Ben.
Okay. Yeah. You're starting at the beginning of your hero's journey as a
Yeah.
species, I guess.
Yeah. So a few points that Shamus outlines, Ben. Now I've got the groundwork out of the way. So a lot of people were saying when the third game first came out that 99% of the story was great and it was the ending that was bad. And Shamus argues that the ending was where all the bad came together and fell apart. The problems started as early as the second game's beginning. And the failures of Mass Effect aren't just based on one singular decision, but a series of really terrible ideas that eventually led to total story collapse.
Was it a result of trying to make sure that they could incorporate literally everyone's previously saved game?
No, it's not that.
Okay.
So he argues that one of the biggest problems, and I know they're for second grade book reports, Ben, but themes are just as important as facts in a story. And the themes of the first game are incongruent with what came after.
Well, fact, that guy from Game of Thrones is a multimillionaire.
Yeah, what's he doing?
Counting his money.
Alone.
Because he made Game of Thrones.
Because he made Game of Thrones, you fucking dick.
No, I think they make the Three Body Problem show.
Oh, so they ruined that, huh?
I don't know. I've not watched it.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't even read it, so. So he defines a details first versus a drama first storyline, and I guess the simplest way to put it, since you're putting me on a time limit, I can't believe you do that, is like Star Trek versus Star Wars, where details first have defined rules and the drama comes from the rules. All right, I need to flesh out the details first and drama first. Seamus did a much better job of it, and Ben put me in a time crunch. How dare he? This was supposed to be like a 10-hour episode, and he only wanted to sit around for 90 minutes. So, details first can't have drama. The drama has to arise from the details. He gives an example of like using the power of friendship to bring people back from being mind controlled as an example of like drama first storytelling. He points out that when you shift from one type of story to another, it becomes a bit jarring or incompatible with what came before. He gave a good example of when drama first goes to details first, which was midichlorians from Star Wars. Yeah, it can be a bit jarring going from one to the other. Now, I should also emphasize that details doesn't necessarily mean it has to be hard science. It just has to have explanations that are both given to us, the reader, and also explanations that are consistent.
So I would say Mass Effect is a drama first.
It starts as a details first. The first game talks a lot about the technology of this world, how everything works, why things are the way they are. It talked in depth. All that shit I just told you about history is important to the conflicts of the first game.
Yeah, I mean, it really seemed like they were trying to set up a franchise that would go on like indefinitely. It didn't seem like they were trying to
They
resolve it with 3 games.
they planned on a trilogy to start.
I mean, so did Disney with Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, and they got their trilogy, Ben. It ended with the rise of Sky Wars.
Somehow Shepard returned.
Yeah, we'll come back to that one, Ben, because you're
he
not
did
wrong.
he did get Palpatined. Yeah.
He did, yes. And so he also talks about trust in the author. He also talks about trust in the author. This is editor Nate. My original explanation was a little off. So trust in the author being that you trust that if something doesn't make sense now, the author is going to explain it later. You're willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and give them the time to tell their story and have it pay off. And that's great because it means that like you don't have to explain everything right now. There can be a big reveal later, but it's a problem if the author fails to pay it off later. You can see that in a lot of media. I think Game of Thrones actually is a pretty good example of a lot of people had trust that totally this is going to go somewhere, and then, well, we got what we got. You're writing an IOU. You'll figure it out later. But then they don't. And then there's a bunch of problems. And then you start thinking about those problems. And then you reveal more problems. And then you're revealing those problems. And then you reveal even. And it leads to story collapse, where suddenly just you're catapulted out of the secondary world of the game or the story. And you're back in the primary world, which is what we call our world because we're not a simulation, Ben. It's real.
Maybe that's a way they could have solved it. Maybe we were a simulation.
Just the Matrix.
Yeah. Shepard wakes up in the real world. The year is 1999.
That'd be there. You go. Write it to EA. They're good at listening to customer feedback.
I'm just going to change all the names and make it myself.
There you go. Let's do it in the Unity engine.
We could.
His problem as well is that it isn't just that we got a bad game, but he also laments the game that we never got in its place. And there aren't a whole lot of sci-fi details first space opera video games on the market. So it's not like he can just go somewhere else.
Well, I think that it kind of goes without saying that a man who would write an 800-page analysis of the video game clearly has some thoughts about what they should have done instead.
Most of those thoughts are literally anything would have been better. Anything differently would have been better.
Well, I don't know. I think it was that bad. I don't know if I'd say literally anything would be better, but We'll see. Let him break it down. We'll see if he can collapse this story on me.
All right.
I didn't
Well,
find it memorable enough to be this bad.
Yeah, you didn't. But I did, Ben. I did.
Okay.
So he goes into detail about the structure of the first game. It's episodic, where each of the main quests are kind of their own self-contained thing. You played KOTOR. Do you remember KOTOR? It's kind of the same thing. You go to Tatooine, and then you go to the Wookiee world, and then you go to the sea world. They're all self-contained stories where you find some locals, they have some problems, you have to solve a problem and fight a boss, and then you get a thing, and then you move on to your next world.
Yeah. I'll take your word for that. The only thing I remember from that game is that at the end I was Darth Revan or something.
Oh my god, spoiler alert. I think you said you saw that coming though.
Yeah, I mean, they kept talking about him a lot, and like it was, oh, I'm a guy without any memory, and I'm really good at the Force. I wonder why these two things keep getting mentioned in the same breath. So yeah, I figured that out. I mean, I remembered something. I have no idea how Mass Effect ended. The only
All
clue
right,
I have is from the
I'll just
first
jump
novel.
in and I'll go piece by piece, Ben.
Okay.
You're getting it all. Feel free to ask questions, Ben. I know you're just raring
I
to ask questions.
I'll ask
You're
questions as something.
so interested. You're so locked in and engaged.
I'm locked in and I'm letting you speak. This is what it feels like when
Yeah.
somebody allows you to present your ideas.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling.
You're like, do I keep talking? Do I keep I've
I
said
guess I
5
do.
words.
It's like how you started a podcast in order to make someone listen to you talk about Dune. Now I've co-opted that, and someone's going to listen to me talk about Mass Effect.
Hey, I'm with you. Is there a Bene Gesserit analog in Mass Effect?
The Asari, probably.
Yeah, that actually sounds right.
There are ancestral memories. The Rachni have ancestral memories, as we'll get to in a moment.
Okay.
That's actually a plot point. All right, so the story starts with an opening text crawl about galactic history and the technology that makes this world possible. The Mass Effect field, which allows for faster than light travel. Super important, Ben. He contrasts that with the opening crawl of the second and third games about nonsense and military bullshit.
Somehow Commander Shepard returned.
We're gonna get to it, Ben. So, first mission introduced our good friend, Captain Anderson, protagonist, kind of
Divorced
the
man.
book you read.
Found
he was a
love, lost it
protagonist with some
immediately.
real secondary person energy.
Went for a promotion, didn't get it.
But he did get to be captain of the Normandy, Ben, a one-of-a-kind stealth ship. And his number 2 is Commander Shepard, whose first name you get to decide, but not his last name.
What did you pick for his first name?
I don't know, Ben. I don't remember.
I don't
Call him Nate Shepard.
I don't think I would. I don't think I would have gone with Ben. I think I would.
Big Dick Johnson Shepard.
I might have done something like that.
You have found a pun. Twiggy Azalea.
You're just gonna list my D&D characters.
That's the one I remember the most.
That really dates that campaign, by the way, because Iggy Azalea hasn't been relevant in quite a long time.
I think that was 10 years ago.
But I think the last one I did was Selena Gomez.
Nice.
Or Wizard
So you
Khalifa.
would have had to find a way to make a pun with Shepard. But Shepard, much like Anderson in that book, is being evaluated for entry into the Spectres, Ben.
Oh, you know what? My current D&D character is Elvis Priestley.
God damn it.
Yeah, I just remembered that. Yeah. I know he's a cleric. He's a life cleric.
Yeah, he well that one is always relevant, at least. So yeah, Shepard is being evaluated to become a Spectre, just like Captain Anderson in the book, Ben. And they're going to go to Eden Prime because the colonists there, because that's what we name our planets, Ben. Colonists there dug up a Prothean beacon. The last time we found some Prothean shit, it transformed our entire way of life, and we got faster than light travel and then joined a galactic council. So this shit, super important. Let's go get that beacon. This could be huge.
Okay.
And then, turns out, the colonists are under attack by a gigantic fucking spaceship, Ben. Humongous. Larger than any spaceship ever seen before.
Okay. Sounds like the Death Star.
Rudimentary creatures of blood and flesh. You touch my mind, fumbling in ignorance, incapable of understanding.
Something like that. It's not a moon or moon shaped. It's more of like squid tentacle shaped. And we find out that the Geth are attacking Eden Prime. The Geth haven't been seen since they kicked the Quarians off their home world and beat their asses. But now they're here attacking a human colony. And the Spectre Nihilus gets betrayed and murdered by Saren, because he's here too, Ben.
I remember him from the book
Yeah, you do.
where he tortured that lady in the hospital.
He does that. He does that. He shoots Nihilus in the back of the head, and then he has the Geth set charges to blow up the Prothean beacon after he uses it, and Shepard is like, no, I'm not Captain Anderson. I'm somewhat competent. So he stops that, and then the beacon activates, and it's gonna suck in one of your squad mates, but Shepard, being a big damn hero, he gets in the way, but then he gets exposed to the beacon, which beams a bunch of shit directly into his head, explodes, and then Shepard is unconscious for a few days. Oops.
It's going to happen to Shepard a lot.
That is going to happen. It's actually not even the worst injury he's going to sustain.
No. If you could call that an injury.
So they wake up on the Citadel, and he's like, God, I saw all sorts of shit about, I don't know, like death and destruction or something, and something called a Reaper. Anyway, we're going to go to the council, and we're going to say Saren is bad boy. He's a naughty boy. He led some Geth to attack a human colony, and then they're like, all right, where's your evidence? And we're like, shit.
Oh, we didn't turn on a single camera?
Fuck. That is my beat.
He was practicing to be a shepherd, or he was practicing to be a Spectre by turning off his body cam.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, and they're like, well, what about that guy at the dock who saw Shepard shoot Nihilus? And they're like, yeah, some shell-shocked lunatic. Like, no. Saren is our boy. If you don't have any evidence, get the fuck out of here. So then
could you at least look into what he's been doing the last couple months?
No oversight. No oversight, unlimited power. It's the Spectre way, goddammit.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Like, can you at least look into it? Now Garrus is looking into it, but CSEC, which is Citadel Security, is like, Garrus, we're closing the case. You're done. And Garrus is like, but I know he's dirty. And they're like, hey, I don't give a fuck. Turn in your badge and your gun. You're off the case. So Garrus joins your party instead, and together you find a bunch of other party members. You go around the Citadel. It takes a real long time, and Shamus does remind me that the engine kind of sucked. There were a lot of loading elevators,
yeah,
and
there were. I remember that.
It was not great. It really screams for like a modern day like engine that can load vast distances and spaces, because it was not great.
What the hell did I play this game on?
Probably an Xbox 360, Ben.
I don't think so.
Or games for Windows Live, Ben.
Maybe it wasn't.
Because it was an Xbox exclusive for a very long time. The second game released for PlayStation, and I think eventually the first game was released in like a triple pack.
Maybe I
But for a
did.
very long time, the first game was exclusive to Microsoft systems.
I had an Xbox 360 for like a hot minute, and then it red ringed.
Yeah, mine red ringed around the time I started playing this. It was my second or third one.
I have never bought an Xbox since.
I got one sent to me. I learned that was because some EU restriction where they couldn't use like lead solder or something, and so they replaced it with something that was more easy to melt, and it fucked over their systems, because if it got too hot, it would just come undone.
Well, yeah, because that's why one of the fixes people were doing, because I guess like if you opened it up, it would void your warranty or something. And one of the fixes people were doing was like wrapping it in a bunch of blankets and putting it in the oven to like try to meld it back together.
That's fucking ridiculous. I got a fan and pointed it directly at it to blow all the emissions away. So, yeah, it was an interesting time to be alive, Ben.
Yeah.
He also points out that the Citadel has 5 big long arms on it, and each arm is like, I think it's described as like Manhattan times 5. But because of the limitations of the engine, instead of looking like a bustling city, it looks like a circuit board. It just does not look like what it's supposed to represent.
Kind of like Cyberpunk 2077. Things haven't changed.
Yeah. But at least Mass Effect shipped in a finished state. So that was the good old days when the game at least had to work on day one. You can patch some shit in later for some minor problems, but your game's supposed to work.
I was back when having a console that was online was like a real novelty.
That was the good old days, Ben.
I remember playing Call of Duty on an Xbox and being like, whoa.
I think I played with you for that brief time that you had an Xbox for Call of Duty. I think it was 2.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
I was always a PC gamer.
Anyway, you do a bunch of shit. Shepard does some organized crime, fleshes out the world. Sorry, he beats up some organized criminals. I guess I shouldn't. He doesn't become an organized criminal. Eventually, he gets an audio file of a Geth, and they use that to bring Saren to justice. Or by bringing him to justice, I mean we bring it to the council, and they're like, "Oh, well, yeah, fuck that guy then. You're a Spectre now, Shepard. Your first task is going to be to go get Saren and bring him in or kill him." It was that easy.
Do they assign Spectres tasks, or do the Spectres just do whatever the hell they want?
They give Shepards a goal, or Shepards. They give Spectres a goal, and then it's just kind of up to you as the Spectre to achieve it however you want to achieve it. All of the main missions of this game are framed to give you the illusion of some sort of character choice.
You say illusion, like you don't find it that meaningful.
You get agency. You get to pick your missions in what order, but you still have to do the missions because it's a linear game. But whenever Shepard's like, "Oh, thanks, I'll check it out," the council bends over backwards to be like, "It's just a suggestion, some intel we got for you. You do what you want to do in order to achieve this goal. But yeah, you do have to do this eventually." But this is in contrast to what will come in the next 2 games, where someone is like, "Shepard, go do this," and he's like, yes, sir. And he's like, yeah, you butt monkey, get the fuck out there. Do what I tell you to do, Shepard.
That's because that's not the real Shepard.
God, wouldn't that be awesome if we just erased the second and third game?
Well,
I'm all for it, Ben.
Shepard fucking died when he hit that planet.
He doesn't exist anymore,
Yeah.
Ben. There's nothing left of him. He's atoms.
Yeah, so that's not the real Shepard. That's the thing. They just made one.
So,
It-
oh man,
It's not even like a Shepard Gola.
it's-
There wasn't even enough.
there's nothing left of him. Saren is looking for something called the conduit. We're going to figure out what that is. We're going to stop him. Saren has a gigantic fucking spaceship. That's the alien artifact he found at the end of that book that you read for last week's episode, Ben.
I don't know. The alien artifact I remember seeing wasn't a giant fucking spaceship.
Well, it's a giant fucking spaceship, Ben.
I feel like this alien artifact like fit in a suitcase or something.
Well, this one is a giant fucking spaceship. And it makes people go crazy when they're near it, apparently, if you read the book. And Saren is going to bring back the Reapers. Whoever they are, we're not actually sure at this point. Prothean Beacon was really vague. But we're gonna get that guy. Also, Captain Anderson, you're done. Career over. You're now go. Here's a desk for you to sit at.
Okay.
Push some paper around. Your ship is now Shepard's.
Puts a picture of his ex-wife next to a picture of the girlfriend he never had.
Just stares at them longingly. He just keeps adding pictures. He goes to the strip club. He sees a girl who takes some interest in him. He puts that one right there.
Oh, it's not easy being Commander Anderson.
Hey, Captain Anderson.
Isn't that less?
No, that's one step up.
Okay. One step?
One rank up from Commander is Captain.
In
Ben.
30 years?
Hey, when you fuck up becoming the first ever human Spectre, your career kind of takes a tailspin. He's lucky he even got a rank, Ben. But the Normandy is a special ship, Ben, in that it is a stealth ship.
Yes,
one of a
Seth
kind.
Green drives
Remember that. One of a kind. It took the humans and the Turian governments worked together to develop this ship. It's a small ship, but it cost as much as a fucking carrier or a dreadnought. It's super expensive. It's the most advanced technical ship in the galaxy. All the drive core emissions can be stored inside of it for I can't remember how long the time period is, but that's how sensors work. They find ships in the vastness of space by finding their drive emissions. The Normandy can temporarily not emit those drive emissions, so it's effectively concealed unless you look out the window. It's a very specific level of stealthiness.
So yeah, I do remember one thing about the game. Now, I remember Seth Green was the pilot. He had
Joker.
He had jelly
He had all the
bones.
Yeah.
And
it's the SpongeBob.
I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms.
And he gets a hot robot girlfriend who's going to crush his pelvis.
He does get a hot robot girlfriend. He does. That is a true thing. But he's also the best goddamn pilot in the entire Alliance military, Ben.
Okay.
He's the fucking best. Ben.
We don't do a lot with that.
There is a Chekhov's gun. That it fires right at the end, Ben. Shamus points it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. We go to Theorem. You get Liara. She's an archaeologist, and she's a hot blue alien and a Prothean expert. That's all I'm going to tell you about Theorem, because that place sucks. Next is Pharos, Ben, where Saren has dropped off a bunch of Geth to do something and attack a bunch of humans on a human colony. But all the humans are acting kind of weird. They're like, they need you to like fix shit like, oh, our water's out, and oh, we need help with this, and also please stop the robots that are trying to kill us.
Fucking weirdos.
And then he hops in the Mako, which he talks about in the book, but I don't have time to talk about. It's a tank that also hovers and handles like kind of a bouncy castle on wheels. It was really awkward and weird, but I liked it, Ben. And the important thing is it creates space. It creates a sense of scale and distance. Ben is important. And when they cut it out in the later games, you lost some scale. Everything's just in one location. It's not as special, Ben. Anyway, they go to the Exogeny Corporation office, which is right next to the colony, because that's where the Geth are doing something over there. So we're going to kill them all. And then, when you've taken care of that, you learn that there is an ancient creature, an ancient alien, some might say, Ben, called the Thorian.
Oh, I didn't
The
remember
Thorian,
this.
they plopped a human colony right on top of where the Thorian lives to see what would happen. Apparently, it releases spores into the air that infect its hosts over a few weeks, and then, you know, you just live your life like normal, but occasionally the Thorian wants you to do something. And if you don't do it, he's gonna just start fucking with your nervous system and hurting you until you agree to do what it wants you to do.
It sounds kind of like a cop.
Yeah. Well, the Thorian is a cop that has lived for thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. Ancient creature, one of its kind. Let's go kick its ass and free those humans.
Sounds like we could maybe learn a lot from this.
Well, he does. He frees the humans, and he goes down to the Thorian, and the Thorian has a thrall. This is that green Asari from that gamer poop you showed me, Green Liara.
Green Liara, yeah.
Yeah, Green Liara.
Liara
is speaking for the Thorian, because the Thorian's connected to her, because the Asari have weird mind magic, like the Force, I guess. It's the closest analog.
And you're saying this is the details-oriented game.
Yes.
With the Force.
The Asari have weird mind shit, Ben.
And the ancient aliens.
Yeah, this alien's important, Ben.
Yeah. Probably the most important thing in the whole damn galaxy.
Well, it doesn't want to make deals with anyone anymore, because it made a deal with Saren for something, and then after the deal was concluded, Saren unleashed a bunch of Geth to try and kill it. That's why the Geth were here attacking the colony. Saren got what he wanted, bounced, and then tried to kill the Thorian so that the Thorian couldn't give what it gave to Saren to anybody else. And then it attacks Shepard, and Shepard kills it in self-defense.
Okay.
It couldn't be reasoned with, Ben. It couldn't be reasoned with. And Green Liara is freed from the Thorian, Ben. And she explains to Shepard what she got was something called... They called it the Cipher, Ben. Because, of course, they do. Basically, the Thorian is so old, it had Protheans as thralls. So the Thorian knows how a Prothean thinks, and its language, and its culture. And so Green Liara mind melds Commander Shepard to give him this, so that he can understand the beacon. He then mind melds with Liara to figure out more, and it's hot, Ben.
Okay. So they should probably mind meld with a lot of people to make sure this knowledge isn't lost.
I don't think you can... I don't think it works like that. Alright, so this is another thing where that's not how the mind meld works. It's not something you can force your host, except I think in specific circumstances where it will kill the other person because you are doing severe damage to their nervous system. So Ben over here talking about how it's not okay to kill bug people who don't negotiate and just want to wipe out your species, but it is okay to take this lady prisoner and then forcibly tear memories out of her head, killing her. Pick a moral line, Ben. You're going renegade here, and it just keeps going between, like, pragmatic and asshole. Or evil. You're doing the Mass Effect thing, and you don't even realize it, Ben. You don't even realize it.
So this is why I forget Mass Effect, by the way, because the way it was sold was like, oh, you're going to make all these important choices and you're going to do all this stuff. And then
the commercial was
none of
misleading.
the things I would do are even an option in the game. I only got to choose between good, medium, bad in any conversation.
So Ben harps a lot on choice in this game and meaningful choice, and I can't really go after him too much because the marketing really did try to sell it on like, oh, your choices matter. And I don't think it should have done that. Yes, you can role play him in some way, and I swear to God, if my phone goes off one more time, I am going to flip the fuck out. But this is all one take. I'm not editing this out. Anyway, Ben goes after this, and the marketing was really heavily on player choice, and you are never going to, and actually I think either Shamus Young or someone else on The Escapist even talked about this. When you go from the tabletop setting, like D&D, to a more structured video game, you lose things in the process because you focus on other things. So this game focused a lot more on combat and interactivity with how you play, but yeah, you're gonna have to lose some role playing. It is unfortunate, but there's no story, like the story is linear, right? There's no story where you can join the Reapers and bring about the end of all civilization, right? You can't play just a straight up evil character who does the most evil thing of genociding the galaxy. And likewise, you can't just pawn this mission onto someone else and then go become a space bartender or whatever. You do have to, if you want to engage with the story, do Commander Shepard's story. And how he is and who he is somewhat mildly influenced by the player. And no, you can't let the matriarch live. You can't let the Thorian live. To be fair, you are put in a situation where it's a fight to the death. You can't do non-lethal damage with bullets, and they're attacking you. That being said, fuck you, Ben. They weren't exactly sure how to do the Paragon and Renegade either, because sometimes it's like good and evil. Sometimes it's like pushover and jerk ass. Sometimes it's like pragmatic or idealistic.
If only there had been a long-standing tabletop game that inspired all RPGs that had a system of both good and evil and then lawful and chaotic. And when you split things along two axes like that, it tends to cover quite a lot of territory in a game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know of any such game that exists.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure 5e wasn't out yet, and I'm pretty sure it didn't exist before 5e.
Oh,
so.
4.
I don't know why they
4
call it
was
5th
the thing.
edition. I don't know why they call it 5th edition, because it's weird that it's the only one, but it's just the way it is, Ben. I didn't make the rules.
I don't even know what happened to my 4th edition books. That's how little I cared about 4th edition.
Yeah, I heard people didn't care for 4th edition.
They tried to make it a
3.5 was the big one.
They tried to make it play like a video game, and it just didn't work.
Well, that's unfortunate, Ben. Anyway, Shamus points out that this is why Shepard is important. He's not Space Jesus. He just happens to have knowledge that nobody else has or could have.
Well, they
So
could
it makes
have it. A
sense.
bunch of Asari could mind meld with him, right?
I don't think they can take it from him.
Well, yeah, but he could give it.
Yeah, Green Liara should have given it to more people. I agree. And maybe she did. We'll never know, Ben.
Okay. I mean, it just seems like if it were me, if I were Shepard, and ostensibly I was, I would first, like, immediately make sure, like, 3 other people had a backup copy of everything I had. You know, if I cared. Yeah. It would be an evil, short-sighted choice to gain all this knowledge and then be the only one who has it, because, like, what if you get hit by a space bus?
What are the odds of that, Ben? I don't think that's going to happen.
What if you get hit by a planet?
What if you get hit by an atmosphere and then a planet? So then they go to Novaria. The council has known that Saren has invested in a company here, but until recently, they're just kind of like,
you
whatever.
An all-powerful rogue cop invest?
He wasn't a rogue cop until recently. He was a good boy, as far as we know. We're not going to look into it. Shut up.
Massive conflict of interest.
I mean, look at our Congress, Ben.
But I thought they were supposed to. I thought these council races were supposed to be better than us.
I never said that.
They did.
So yeah, Shepard goes to investigate that. Saren's lieutenant is Liara's mom, who is an Asari commando. And also she's hot, Ben, because she's an Asari. And together, they have managed to locate a Rachni egg and bring it back from extinction. Hooray, we did it, guys. And they're breeding Rachni.
That doesn't seem like... I mean, they were a sentient race that was genocided.
Yeah, I guess I should also elaborate on the Rachni War, because the Council did try on multiple occasions to make peace with these bugs. They didn't know how to really communicate with them. And anytime they tried, they would just get their ambassadors or negotiators killed. So it became a situation where the enemy is attacking you with overwhelming force, unprovoked, and you're going to be wiped out. And there is no way to negotiate, so what do? Ben?
Yeah, so the Rachni apparently were treated like animals instead of like a sentient race, and so all of the Rachni have gone crazy and started slaughtering all the scientists.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah. But also, you also have to kill the Rachni because they're kind of in your way.
Again, none of the choices are the thing I would do.
You got to investigate this facility, and they're in your way, Ben.
That's not really a meaningful choice.
It's not supposed to be a meaningful choice. You have to investigate Saren. You can't make an omelet without cracking a few bugs.
The last of their kind.
You can choose to spare the queen, who has not gone insane.
Okay, that's something, I guess.
So, Liara's mom mentions that she joined Saren to stop him. Something about Saren and his fancy shit, Ben. When you get in there, he just his words start making a whole lot of sense, and suddenly you're not. Your goals are Saren's goals now. Anyway, you shoot her.
Sounds kind of like the One Ring. What?
So she's dead now, Ben.
Why'd you shoot her?
Because she attacks you again. There's a momentary lull. She then tells you all this shit, and then she's like, I'm not myself anymore, and then she she then goes all Gollum on you, and,
Aren't there like 7 of you?
there's 3 of you. It's a 3-man squad,
You
Ben.
can't just restrain her?
She's a powerful Asari biotic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there no non-lethal weapon?
No.
No, we just never thought of that.
No. Shepard has a shotgun, an assault rifle, a sniper rifle, and a pistol, and grenades, Ben.
You can't just tase her?
No, we can't. There's no time. The galaxy is at stake.
Like you don't,
Pa-pow, pa-pow.
you don't think it would be valuable to like interrogate her further, have her mind meld with another Asari so we could learn everything she did, find out if it's true?
Sounds like a bad idea. What if someone else becomes insane mind melding with her?
We've got more than 2 Asari. I think it's worth a shot.
Well, we couldn't take her alive, so...
You could.
We couldn't take her alive.
Oh.
We only have lethal weapons, and she's being lethal, and I couldn't choose to do non-lethal damage.
Yeah, that's one of those choices again.
Yeah, see, I don't think they should have tried to sell us on choices so hard, because it is a linear story.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I didn't hate it, but like, I quickly I don't think I was at all invested in Commander Shepard's story, because I'm gonna be real with you here. I don't super like Commander Shepard.
Wow.
I think
This is his favorite podcast on the Citadel.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
I really don't like the main character. I don't like any of the characters, to be perfectly honest with you. I think that's the problem.
I think you're probably in the minority on that one.
They're all kind of assholes.
Yeah, I think you're in the minority on that one.
Oh, okay. I mean, the games seem to have petered out and failed, and your hero wrote an 800-page book on why it sucked, but I'm in the minority on like...
But the characters are almost always praised, Ben. Even Shamus praises the characters.
Okay, I don't like Commander Shepard.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my least favorite Ben on the Citadel.
Well, Shepard does become much stupider in the sequels after he hits a planetary body, so...
Commander Shepard is propaganda.
So, you can choose to kill or free the Rachni Queen, who promises not to fuck around anymore. It's also implied that the Rachni came into contact with some sort of malicious outside force that drove them all mad, so... Yeah.
It sure would be good if we
bad.
could ask any of these things that have lived forever and seen exactly what we're up against. Just any questions.
She says that. But she says it's a sour yellow note, Ben, because the way she talks is in musical terms and shit.
La la la, what the fuck does that mean?
Yes.
Liara, go mind meld with this thing.
Well, it's already talking through the body of a dead Asari, so...
Well, then mind meld with the corpse.
Well, that's what she says. She already explained it to us, Ben. You just have to read through the lines. This is a you problem.
Yeah.
You don't speak bug? What a racist. Anyway, you can either spare the Rachni, or you can put them back to sleep forever.
I'm from the only species in this whole place that wasn't complicit in a genocide.
So the reason the Rachni were brought back is that they have that ancestral memory, Ben. The queens all share memories of all the previous queens, and the Rachni knew the location of the Mu relay, which is Mass Effect relay, that was thrown out of its normal area in space by a star that went supernova tens of thousands of years ago. And Saren needs that. We don't know why yet, but he's located it, and now we know where it is.
Okay.
Then you go to Vermeer, which is Saren's base, Ben.
Isn't it? Oh, okay.
Which is great.
Thought his base would be
Shepard.
his giant ship, but I guess it's Vermeer.
Well, he's got a planetary base as well.
He's got a whole ass planet.
I mean, it's not a settled base, or it's not a settled planet, so, free real estate. Who's going to stop me?
One would think the council, but okay.
Well, yeah, that's why they sent in you.
Okay.
There's also Solarian sent a distress. The Solarian CIA sent out.
Like Shepard is not
a
exactly Jean-Luc
distress.
Picard here, right? I guess that's my thing.
No, he's more of Riker. He goes down. Man. He goes down on the planet.
He's Riker.
Yeah,
He does have a
justice for Riker.
He does have a shitty beard.
Yeah, sometimes. Anyway, Vermeer is awesome, Ben.
Okay.
Yeah, you lose a squad mate, and maybe Rex dies if you don't know how to play the game because you suck. And so he and the Solarian commandos assault Saren's base. Saren has cured the genophage, Ben, because he's breeding a Krogan army.
Neat.
And
like orcs.
Also, what's that?
Like orcs.
There you go.
Saruman.
He's massive. There you go. There you go. See? It's all making sense to you. So he's using the Krogan to supplement his Geth army. He's clearly preparing for a major assault of some kind. It's also a good time for me to mention that Saren has been working on this plan for like 2 or 3 decades at this point, gathering materials and supplies and allies. So it makes sense that he would have some of this shit. Anyway, Sarenman is also researching an indoctrination field here because
he's gonna make his own ring. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Does he have a dumbass cloak?
God, I wish.
Is he gonna use a Palantir to call out to Sauron? I mean, the Reapers.
Well, speaking of that, there's another beacon here, Ben. And the image is very clear now of the Reapers killing the Protheans, and that this is a warning to the Protheans of their genocide, and that the original message came from Ilos, and Ilos is through the Mu relay, and the conduit is on Ilos. Boom. Boom, bang, boom. Done it. And then Shepard starts fucking around on a computer, and
now don't hurt yourself.
A fucking gigantic robotic squid monster talks to him, and it turns out that Reaper ship is not a Reaper ship that Saren found. It's a Reaper, Ben.
I do remember that. I remember that the Reapers are big squids.
Yeah, I love this scene. Everyone should go watch it right away.
Isn't there like a little kid AI that you just want to kick the shit out of?
Yeah, that's terrible, and that comes in the third game.
Okay, yeah.
So the Reapers explain that the Protheans did not create the Citadel or forge the mass relays, Ben. They also just found them. The Reapers built all that shit.
Why?
And if you base your technology off the Citadel and the mass relays, and why wouldn't you? It's so awesome. Then your technological progress and advancement goes down predictable paths, and the Reapers, they come in and they're going to harvest all galactic life at a certain technological level, and we're fucked. His kind are coming back. They're going to darken the skies of every world, and we're fucked. We can't possibly beat him. Our genocide is nigh, Ben.
I feel like this is really important. Can you remind me why they do that?
There's a realm of existence so far beyond your own you cannot possibly imagine it.
Okay, but why
He's beyond your comprehension, Ben.
But why do you harvest everybody at a certain technological level? Why not like a different technological level?
So, you don't know in the first game. And the explanation in the third game is fucking dumb.
Okay, give me the explanation. I want to know. I'm not making a point. I don't know, and I want to know.
So in the first game, it's clear that this is like an Elder God type situation. It's like a robot Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Like a race of robot Cthulhus. And Shamus said initially that they just didn't have a plan for this. But when he's going back through this, he's like, no, the writer of this game had a plan, and maybe they didn't write all of the motivation for the Reapers down, but there's a framework for developing the next two games in the story to their logical conclusion. I'll get to that part at the end. But there were some ideas thrown around, like one of them was that it was just kind of hinted at in the second game and then dropped, which is that biotic users, they have some sort of effect on, I think it was dark matter, which hastens the entropy of the universe unnaturally. And Reapers are immortal, so they don't want that to happen. And they need biotics of a certain kind to do something, something, something. The Protheans were close but not quite. The Asari were also close but not quite. So they just keep this cycle of genocide every 50,000 years or so.
Oh yeah, that's not terrible,
Now,
actually.
Well, what we get is organic life will always create synthetic life that will rebel and destroy the organic life. So the Reapers were designed to solve this problem by killing all the organic life before that happens.
You ever hear the scenario about, like, what if you programmed an AI with only one motivation to make paper clips, and then it eventually, like, you know, disassembles the entire world to create paper clips for no one, but it doesn't understand because it's kind of a dumb AI, but it's just smart enough to, like, destroy everything. That seems kind of like what the Reapers are. It's like, you got to preserve all organic life. The greatest risk to organic life is artificial life taking it out. Therefore, you got to take out all the organic life.
Yes. And it's counter to a lot of the themes that will crop up in the story as we go along. But yes,
It also
that's
kind of
stupid.
makes them seem like not so godlike. It makes them seem more
No,
like a
it doesn't.
paperclip machine.
So the first game, they're very clearly elder gods. And by the third game, they're fucking dumb idiots who aren't even the main villain, really.
Okay.
We'll get into that, Ben. You just wait.
You're running low on time.
Well, we're doing a two-parter, Ben. We can come back next time.
All right.
I'll wrap up the Mass Effect 1, and then next time we'll blitz through 2 and 3, and we'll cry, Ben, together. Big manly tears.
Okay.
But yes, I think one of the articles I saw was like, Ben, you set your toaster on fire trying to make toast. Therefore, in order to save you, I burned down your house. Now you can't burn your toaster anymore because I've solved the problem.
Yeah.
You have no house to burn.
No, I agree. It's the logic of a dumb AI. Like an AI that has a simple goal that
Yes.
Yeah, it was not.
In this game, they are repeatedly shown to be just beyond our comprehension. They're alien to aliens, right? In later games, they're just fucking dumb. Anyway, Shepard is like, all right, we're setting up a nuke. We're blowing up this entire fucking facility. Let's get out of here. Saren shows up. You have a fight with Saren. And Shamus points out that this is the end of Act 2. Saren needs to win, but it's also a video game. So if the player loses, it might feel kind of cheap and unforgiving, or unforgivable. But it handles it about as well as can be, because Saren does get the upper hand in a cutscene, but then Shepard fights back, and it kind of ends in a draw more than anything. And you blow up his fucking planet.
Nice.
But at the loss of one of your squad members.
Not super
but before
attached.
the battle is over.
As long as it's not the blue one or the dinosaur.
No, it's not. It's one of the humans.
Oh, yeah, fuck
Caden
him.
or Ashley. Yeah, fuck him.
I didn't even know Caden was a thing. I'm certain I chose to sacrifice him.
Probably. I think most people do.
Yeah.
So, before that battle is over, though, Saren and Shepard talk. And Saren is clearly indoctrinated by the Reaper. And he is like, look, the Reapers are coming back one way or another. They can't be stopped. But if we organics prove that we're useful to them, they'll keep us around. I've studied indoctrination. Reapers can't, like, the more control they exert on you, the less useful you become. If they want to mind control you, you're like a drooling zombie. So if I just keep being useful, my mind will keep being my own. And Shepard's like, no, you're clearly indoctrinated right now. He's like, no, fuck you. No, I'm not. I'm in control of my own thoughts.
Sounds a lot like Saruman.
He really is the Saruman to the Sauron, which is sovereign.
Yeah.
Saruman, Sarenmon.
Sarenmon, Savron.
So here's the part I think neither of us liked about the first game, because I remember talking to you on chat, where you do all this shit, you go back to the council, and they're like, they're gonna get a military fleet ready to go, and you're like, fuck yeah, let's go to Ilos with this fleet, and they're like, no, if we go in there, we might start a war in the Terminus system, and you can't just be like, okay, well just send me, I've got a stealth ship. No, they ground you, Ben. They don't believe in this Reaper bullshit, and they don't believe you. Fuck
Mind
you.
meld with me.
Yeah, right?
Did we forget we could do that?
But even if... So Shamus has a good point. Even if the Council doesn't want to believe in this Reaper bullshit, they should be really concerned about where Saren got this super ship from. Who made it? Are there more of them? This could tip the balance of power pretty sharply.
I don't know which game, but there comes a point where you get to choose if you save the council or not.
Very end of this game.
I decided not to save them because I thought the universe was better off without them.
I also decided not to save them because I didn't want to waste the strength of the Sixth Fleet protecting them when the goal needed to be to destroy Sovereign.
No, like I legitimately thought they needed to go. Like I thought they were holding everything back.
Hey, you're probably not wrong. So Anderson does something right for once, and he helps get you ungrounded. You take the Normandy, you fly off to Ilos. It's great. This is where
Anderson helps get you ungrounded,
out.
and he's like, Shepard, you're my best friend. Shepard's like, uh-huh.
Bye. Bye. So
There's a picture of Shepard next to his girlfriend that never was next to his
the same thing. So this is where Shamus points out that 2 Chekhov guns go off at once. Chekhov's guns? Whatever. The Normandy
Chekhov's
being
guns.
a stealth ship, so it can bypass the Geth on the orbiting Ilos, and Joker being the best goddamn pilot ever. Because he basically drops your tank almost directly on Saren. How fucking funny would that have been if he actually did it? Saren manages to get out of the way. Then Shepard meets Vigil, an AI construct of the Protheans. It's great. Everyone should watch that one. This is where we learn the Citadel is a trap, Ben. It's a gigantic mass relay that opens up to dark space, which is the empty void between galaxies. And the Reapers, what they do is they send a signal to the Citadel, and the Keepers open the Citadel relay. Reapers pour through. They immediately kill all of the top government officials. They seize all of your records and data, and then through the Citadel, they shut down the mass relay network. So that cripples communication. You can't have faster than light communication. Cripples transportation. You can't fly around the galaxy anymore. It isolates the entire galaxy into individual star systems and makes them easy prey for the Reapers.
Yeah, it seems like that's obviously what was going to happen.
Yeah, so the Protheans, all their leaders were dead before they even realized they were under attack, and basically Ilos went dark. They were like, we're not winning this fight. Everyone get in stasis pods. We're going to wait this out. But the Reapers are very systematic, and so and this is the genocide of an entire galactic civilization. So it was taking hundreds of years, and they were running out of power. So the AI started shutting down the pods of less essential personnel one by one to conserve energy. And by the time the Reapers were done, there were like a dozen scientists left. So they knew they're fucked. They don't have enough for a viable population. They are now they're an extinct species when they're done. But the research on Ilos was to look into mass relay technology. They were on the cusp of figuring it out. They managed to make a prototype that linked to the Citadel. So they realized what had happened and how it happened. They sent a message through the beacons, which is their intergalactic telephone network, essentially, to like warn them and let them know that they were on Ilos, but they kind of figured everyone was dead and no one was going to get the message. Then they researched and figured out how to alter the signal. So they jump into the conduit, which beams them to the Citadel. And once they're there, which has to be fucking weird because they're on a basically Washington, D.C., but with no people. They then modify the Keepers. So next time Sovereign woke up, he realized, all right, time for the genocide. He sends a message to the Citadel, and the Keepers ignored it. So they didn't open the relay, and the genocide didn't happen, and so Sovereign had to figure out what went wrong and how to correct it. And it's here that we learn that... Oh, also, that indoctrination shit, Reapers are assholes, right?
Mm-hmm. Sounds like it.
They don't always kill everyone. They indoctrinated refugee survivors, and then those refugees would be picked up by other Protheans and then betray their fellow Protheans to the machines. They took all technology and all resources with them through the relay and closed it behind them. And now Sovereign has probably been working on this plan for decades, if not centuries. The game straight up hints or tells you Saren is the most active and prominent agent of the Reapers, but he's not the only one. There are going to be others out there.
I don't remember that at all.
Well, they say that. He is very unlikely. It's very unlikely that he is the only one.
Oh no, is Martin Sheen one?
Martin Sheen doesn't exist in this game, Ben. He comes in the second game. And Shamus fucking hates that guy. Not Martin Sheen, but the elusive man he plays. And I'll go into more detail of that next episode, Ben.
Oh, Jesus.
So, Vigil gives Shepard a copy of a command code that will lock Sovereign out. It might give you a chance, Ben.
Okay.
So Shepard goes through. He arrives at the Citadel, fights his way up to the council chamber. Saren either dies in combat or shoots himself if you have enough Paragon or Renegade points to convince him that he is in fact indoctrinated.
It's a weird thing for a Paragon to do, is to convince a man to shoot himself, but okay.
No, you redeem him, Ben. Something you still know that there's something wrong with you. You can still make this right.
I don't by killing yourself.
No, he doesn't say that. He says you can still stop this, and Saren's like, no, it's too late for me, and then he shoots himself, Ben. All right, so Ed or Nate here. They have a longer conversation than this. Saren is at the main control panel of the Citadel, about to bring in the Reapers, who will then usher in an age of machine genocide. They were going to come in and destroy
all organic life in the galaxy at a certain level of technology. And Saren starts out by ambushing them and throwing a grenade at Shepard. Then he gets into cover and they have a conversation. They have a conversation after Saren just tried to murder him. Saren says the Reapers are going to come in, and Shepard can tell Saren that if he just stands aside, he can put this program... Well, he doesn't say this in detail, but basically, stand aside, I can stop them. So he's giving Saren a chance to stand down, and Saren says he can't stop the Reapers forever, so we just need to be useful to them. He also says that after their talk on Vermeer, he was concerned that maybe he was indoctrinated, and these doubts grew, and Sovereign sensed these doubts, and so Saren agreed to have Sovereign implant him. And so Shepard's like, holy, that terrible idea, you're being controlled through your implants now. Can't you see that? Shepard is trying on many occasions to get Saren to stand down. And finally, Saren says he's too far gone. He can't resist the implants in his body. And Shepard says that there's still one thing he can do. And that's when Saren kills himself. So it's not like Shepard just walked in and was like, kill yourself, noob! Nah. He gave him many chances to stand down. And finally, he gives Saren the chance to go out on his own terms rather than having to fight to serve a master who is going to kill everyone in the galaxy. It's not just a fuck you, Shepard situation. So yeah, fuck you, Ben. Fuck you, Ben. Dick.
And you're like, oh, well, I'm Commander
Sovereign
Shepard. And
implanted
this is my
him
favorite suicide
with
on the Citadel.
cybernetics, Ben.
Okay.
So Shamus points out that this puts you at the heart of galactic civilization, surrounded by the wards full of the people that you're trying to save, and at the end you stand atop the wreckage of your greatest foe. It's great. Sovereign dies, and the Reapers do not get to open up the mass relay and come back and genocide everyone. But the end of the story is that Shepard's like, yeah, Saren was right about one thing. Reapers are going to come back sooner or later, and I'm going to find a way to stop them. Pow, pow, pow. It explicitly tells you the next game is going to be a quest for knowledge on how to stop the Reapers from coming back. And not what we got.
I really don't remember what we got, so this is all very exciting.
I hope so, Ben. I'm going to talk about the framework and a way to beat the Reapers to wrap up, and then I'll let you go. Do you have time?
How long is this going to take?
I'll go as quickly as possible. So Shamus is really great at describing this. So you're Shepard, knowledge that nobody else has, one-of-a-kind stealth ship, a mandate, and you're most closely related to this quest. So of course you're the best person for the job. The whole game was building you up as the best person to do this. There's often an argument in fantasy of why don't you just send an army? And he's like, well, they answered that question. You don't need an army to explore ruins. You need a crew. It perfectly points out why a squad of 3 people on foot, aka the video game mechanics, makes sense for the lore mechanic, Ben.
That is a good point.
He also points out you're a Spectre, which means you can go to places no one else can, which justifies, like, why hasn't anyone gone here before? Oh, you're a Spectre. You get this information and you can go there, but it's not always a free pass, because sometimes someone could be like, oh, I don't like the Spectres because of world problem. So you have
Obvious
to do a
reasons to not like a Spectre.
Yeah, I don't get what you're talking about, Ben.
Yeah.
Spectres are cool. I don't know what you're talking about.
Except that one who almost
so,
killed everybody. Because nobody
Well,
was checking down
he's a
what he
former
was doing.
Spectre.
Oh,
Former
okay,
Spectre,
yeah.
Ben. Yeah. He was the bad apple. We got him out of there.
So there's like
Mission
an impeachment
accomplished.
process for Spectres who are found to be committing
Yeah,
crimes against
the
humanity.
impeachment process involves bullets usually.
He killed himself.
Yeah, so he redeemed
retired.
Himself. He redeemed himself, Ben, by killing the biggest threat to the galaxy.
Okay.
So, also, Shamus points out your stealth ship is not a cloaking device, so you're still visible. You're as visible or invisible as the plot needs you to be for it to make sense. And this is set up as a quest for knowledge to defeat ancient machine gods. And it's very clear. It's told over and over again. We're not winning this fight. The way that we succeed is by preventing them from ever coming back. So this establishes exactly what the sequel is going to be about. He also points out that the Council has now seen a Reaper up close. So either they believe Reapers are a threat, or at the very least they're aware that there's a new military power in the galaxy, and so your reward is that the galaxy is no longer complacent. The only thing the Council can't do is ignore Shepard and decide to do nothing. He's very clear about this. That's the one thing that they can't do, Ben.
Yeah, I see where he's going with this.
So the writer, he said, he points out what I said earlier. The writer probably didn't know exactly what the Reaper's plan was or why they did it, and he may not have figured out exactly how we're going to win, but he set the tools for why this time might be different. First of all, the Protheans sabotaging them from ever coming back, or for coming back and assaulting us, was a huge gain. Now we're not going to be caught unaware. So that's a huge win. Another one is that this cycle is more diverse than previous cycles of genocide, Ben. It's implied that typically one species just seizes all power for themselves. Like the Protheans were the top dog in their time, and there's basically no one else. Anyone who would even attempt to challenge them would be enslaved or killed off. And the Asari are different, though, because they value peace and genetic diversity with other species, so they're incentivized to not just wipe everyone out, and they are probably the most powerful species just by virtue of living for over 1,000 years, or about 1,000 years.
Fair.
So, also, this cycle has fewer open relays than previous cycles. That might be important. He basically just says, mechanically, the writer did plan ahead. You have an unbeatable foe, but you have reasons why you might be able to beat them this time. And it's not just because we can shoot harder than anyone has ever shot before.
Phrasing, but okay.
Yeah. So, and the hiccup here is the Reapers are asleep in dark space, but we don't know how long it will take them to wake up and realize something is wrong and go with plan B. So, it could be a few years or it could be a few generations. So, we both have time to explore and track stuff down, but are also on a clock. Just long enough for a trilogy, Ben. So the first game sets up what the rest of the trilogy is going to be like, as you do with a 3-part story.
Yeah.
And next time we'll see what happens in the second and then third entries, Ben.
All right. I mean, in all seriousness, it's all You've done much research. You know what you want to say. There's not a
Yeah.
ton I can add. I mean, you're making sense.
Oh my god.
I guess I would say that's probably why I'm not interrupted. And it's not.
Well, next episode, Ben, the story is not going to make sense. So maybe you'll do more renegade interrupts.
I'll try.
Eh?
I'll try.
Well, next time, Ben, I've got a skit for you.
Okay.
You're going to be a Cerberus scientist.
I think I can do that.
All right.
Do I get to put a man
Anything
back
else,
together? No, nothing else.
I'm Commander Shepard, and Jamie is my favorite Patreon on the Citadel.
Well, I'm not sure why he's calling it a Patreon sometimes and a patron other times, but you can find Jamie at ifyouwantthegravy.wordpress.com, where he reviews all kinds of things, none of which are books, but other things.
I'm Commander Shepard, and John Bierce is my favorite Patreon on the Citadel.
You can check out his Patreon as not patron, but Patreon. Those are two different things. And you can also check out The Rack, which is my personal favorite. He's also got The Mage Aaron and The City That Would Eat the World.
I'm Commander Shepard, and Disakai Sensei Sama is my favorite Patreon on the Citadel.
Oh, that one was actually kind of bad. And the more I hear him call people Patreons, the more I'm just going to do it. And it's not a bug anymore. It's a feature. Anyway, you can check out his work at That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster podcast.
I'm Commander Shepard, and Shy with a Y is my favorite Patreon on the Citadel.
You can check her out on TikTok. This is AI at its best, and if Mass Effect is anything to go by, it's not getting any better.
It's a thorough analysis you've done.
And Shamus is done.
And Shamus. To a lesser extent, Shamus.
To a lesser extent.
All right. So we'll stop it.
Alright, it's Ed or Nate again. I actually couldn't find where Ben talked about biotics as just being space magic. So I'm just going to include it right at the end here. I don't give a shit. If you've listened all the way to the end and you haven't, you know what? This is just for me. But there was an explanation for biotics and how Element Zero could allow, like, Element Zero exposures. I mean, it's a space magic compound that allows for space magic. A combination of amplifiers that are created by humans and Asari and whatnot that are implanted in your body, and exposure to Element Zero allow you to create your own Mass Effect field, which allow you to manipulate matter. It's details first because it has that grounding. And I'm sure that you could probably argue it's like a spectrum. But the comparison would be like the Force, where you feel it. It flows through you. It binds us all. But, Han Solo's not over there throwing rocks at people. Even though technically he would be part of the Force because it's all living things. That's the difference. Details first doesn't necessarily mean hard science.
Report to the ship as soon as possible. We're banging, okay?